don't you want to talk about Rori Hill?
I like her. I think she's really dope. Yeah, but I don't listen to her religiously like everyone else.
Why don't you want to talk about Rori Hill?
Because that's not what I'm here for.
So you're going to go off if you start speaking about Rori Hill?
No, I'm not.
Okay, cool. So I want us to speak. We want to speak about things we haven't spoken about before, and things we haven't talked about today because we've been talking today.
Yes.
I want to start with how you got into the year, because it's been very evident that there has been a change in your approach to, I don't know if it's an approach to things or it's approach to life, but you just got into 2024 with a different spirit, a new sense of energy and,
Yeah.
So I just want to touch a bit into that. Specifically, you started with the website. So what happened in 2023? What happened in 2023?
Listen, a lot happened in 2023, good and bad. I think y'all saw the good, y'all didn't see the bad, which is okay.
Yeah.
I think 2023 made me realize what is really for me, what I really want, and where I'm supposed to be. To answer your question regarding 2023, y'all saw the show that happened, beautiful. Y'all were happy about it. I also released, which is a big thing for me because I've been putting that off. But also, yay. Mentally and emotionally, I saw myself in a place I never thought I'd see myself in. And I think it's because I kind of forgot who I am. I feel like I lost myself, really. So entering 2024 for me, I entered on a very low note. I entered with a mindset to really nurture all aspects of my life, not just my spiritual side, not just the finances, but equally nurture every part of me, my mental, emotional, physical. So 2024, I entered with a mindset to try again, go back to the drawing board and just kind of remind myself who the hell Rorisang Sechele is. So first month on Instagram, you guys saw me posting a lot, but what was actually happening behind the scenes was the opposite. I think I was posting like every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but January for me was my month to slow down. But it didn't appear that way on Instagram. So it's weird because what is happening on Instagram is the reverse of what's happening behind the scenes. So 2024, I entered it very low, entered it with a spirit and a mind to try again and not start over, just go back to the drawing board and reevaluate what I want, who I am, realign myself, just clean the room, clean the house, remove the dust, fresh start, spring cleaning vibes. That was 2024. Yeah, it's not a new me, new year, new me, sorry. It's just, let's try again.
And this January period you're describing, I think it's something we often overlook because we always see things as you went through a period of hardship and all of these things you're going through. And we always just assume that, you move from that and you quickly jump into I'm Rori again. I am feeling better. But you do need to go through that period where it doesn't necessarily look like you're going through the most, but in the background you're working on your thing. So I think that's a period often overlooked. But specifically, I want us to now get into terms of the craft.
Yes.
You've now kind of found a new leaf and you've came up with a website where you're trying to document and,
Yeah.
archive your
Yes,
journey.
yes.
Why is that important?
That's important because it's a fingerprint you're leaving. I think especially for South Africans, African South Africans or Black South Africans, we come from a place where not a lot of things were documented previously,
Yeah,
from
sure.
indigenous music to things relating to our language. And I think it's important for us to change that so that even when we're no longer here, those who come after us, they have something, whether it's written, whether it's visual, whether it's music. So yeah, I think documenting yourself is a form of you taking yourself seriously for me as well, Yeah, so for me, it's just also a way to kind of put things to action, because I feel like as creatives, usually we always say we're going to do things, but we never do it.
Yeah.
So if I put things on paper, or if I put something tangible, give you something tangible, then I'm not just saying something, but you can actually
you can
see
see
and
it.
put two and two together and be like, okay, you said this, but I can also see that, damn, you said this,
Yeah.
So it's just, man, putting it all together, documenting is important. Leaving your footprint, leaving your fingerprint, having something on the shelf that later generations can always look back at and be like, damn, there was Rorisang Sechele, and
Yeah.
she was so great and she was so cool.
A star.
Thank you. And also it just, it helps you put things to practice as well. Like the more you do something and you document it, 10 years from now, I'm going to look back at those videos and that website and be like, oh my goodness, this is where I started. That is so cool. And this is where I am. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've said quite a lot.
I think also another thing you're not saying is it also becomes your portfolio, because you're an artist.
Yes,
and
true.
you're gonna have people wanting to know of your work. You might be looking to go to the States or somewhere else.
True.
And it's a format you can easily present that has everything.
True.
That has everything.
Yes.
Okay, and I think while on that note, ambitions-wise, I did tell you we're going to speak about the future and the now. Ambitions-wise, I would assume that, for example, now you just told me that you've gone back to school, right? And
yes,
going back to school at this point, as an adult, obviously, it's not just I need to go to school. There's intent behind that, there's thinking behind that. So maybe just speak us through that and where it fits into the bigger goal, into the bigger ambition of Rori as an artist. It's not a tough one.
It's not a tough one, but I still need to think about it. I think, when there was a Sunday when I went to visit a church, and I went with a friend, and that friend saw his mentors. And when we got there, chilling, they were talking to him, and then they looked at me and they're like, hey, Rori, what are you busy with? And I was like, oh, yeah, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm a musician. And they're like, oh, God, here's another one who's going to starve to death. That narrative is part of the reason why I'm very intentional about pursuing the academics. So many of the older generation speak this way. And when the person said this to me, I was like, no, I'm not gonna die hungry. Yes, other people before in your generation passed away hungry, or they weren't they were struggling. But that's not going to be me. I'm changing the narrative. And they're like, how are you going to do that? And I was like, oh, damn, how am I going to do this good? And I was like, firstly, I'm going to school for this. And once I said I'm going to school, they were like, oh, okay, at least, Nyana, you're
approach.
educating yourself. I think as creatives, we always shy away from school and academics, but it's important for us to pursue that because it really broadens our thinking, It really helps us. It gives us a voice to speak or enter spaces that we wouldn't be able to enter if we were just normal creatives who perform. It changes your way of thinking. I'm a person, I believe in sustainability, and I believe that I can bring that or establish myself as an artist and live comfortably. I believe it's possible. But going to school, the period that I've gone, I've kind of already gotten insight on how I can approach or tackle or unlock that aspect. So, yeah, there are just so many things. I don't even know how to approach this question because there's so much to it. But all in all, I want to use the education that I receive to give me a voice to speak in rooms that artists or creatives are not allowed in or don't have the language to speak in. I want to build some form of sustenance and sustainability for creatives, and I feel like educating myself is the first place to start. I want to meet people, who can help me build all of this and put it together. And I think education can give me the tools that I need, and it can also kind of help me on how to use the tools that I'm given, knowing when to use the tools that I'm given. So, yeah, beyond the stage and the performance, it can help me contribute on, the business aspect, the social things that we experience, how can I contribute to that? Obviously, I would need to educate myself.
Yeah.
For me to, get into that. Yeah.
You're basically speaking of an interest to be involved beyond what is the generic output of
Definitely.
a musician. But now my curiosity is whether that has always been your thing, or your involvement in education in the first place is what is bringing you that mindset.
It's always been that way,
Yeah.
Even in high school. As a young kid, I've always been aware of how our industry is, how much of a dog-eat-dog world it is. And because of that reason, I've tried to run away from the music industry. Like, I'm okay with not being a star. I can rather do admin stuff for someone else, But people around me have always seen and recognized the gift that I have. I guess also the contribution or what I could contribute to the industry. And they would always be like, Rorisang, why are you going to study cosmetology when you're such a brilliant singer? Rorisang, why are you working as a receptionist when you did such an amazing job? Because they theater. I've always tried to run away. But I'm at a point where I'm like, I can't be afraid anymore. I need to face this thing, challenge it, and bring some form of change. It doesn't have to be huge where I'm like, Superman, Even in the smallest way, that change, if it can affect me and Areh, it will create some form of ripple effect and, kangani, So from a young age, I've always been aware of it. Even with me choosing to take a break from school when I graduated, I was very intentional with that because it was like, okay, I learned this from school. Let me give myself a year or two to put everything that I've learned to practice. Then I come back and we see how we can make it work again. So it's always been in the back of my mind. It's always been a passion of mine. And yes, it didn't start with me going to, TUT.
Yeah.
It's been in my heart.
And well, that's the background, right?
Yes.
But you are still very much involved in the front.
Definitely.
You mentioned the State Theatre. We went to the State Theatre last year, and you did put on an amazing show.
Thank you.
You have a song out.
Freedom.
So it's good progress on
Both ends.
On both ends.
Yeah.
But on the front end, there are challenges that come, right? I've spoken with a few people in this format who we spoke specifically about the rolling out of a project. It's one thing as a creative, I'm a creative. I am good at what I do. I'm talented. I will record the song, but I need a place to record the song.
Yeah.
I need the resources. Once I've done that, I need to be able to bring this across to whatever audience I feel I can tap into, right?
Yeah.
So maybe just speak me through some of those kind of challenges that you have faced in this journey from the front end, since you are navigating both ends.
The challenges. Please rephrase your question.
I'll give you one, for example, as an example. The rolling out of a project.
Yeah.
Freedom is not on the streaming platforms in J&J.
Yes.
Freedom is not known by people in J&J.
Yeah.
Getting a show at the State Theatre doesn't just come in J&J.
The challenges. Obviously, money is a challenge.
Yeah.
Money, where the money resides. Oh, man. Money definitely is a huge part. The people as well.
Yeah.
That is a challenge. Yeah, I think those were two big things. Because I think about State Theatre, had I not been in the youth choir, certain people wouldn't have known me.
Sure.
It probably wouldn't have been as easy for me to, even be considered to perform there, When I got the job that I got as a receptionist, or the 9 to 5, part of the intention for me to get that job was so that it could finance my creative side or my music. And obviously there was like the thought process. So money, getting the funding, who do you know? Those are the challenges. Also how you present yourself. I'm very much aware of myself and I'm very big on presentation. So obviously getting like a team, also having a team so that you don't do everything yourself. Because if you don't even have the money to hire people who can assist you to do certain things, then it's like not easy. Like with State Theatre, I did everything. I did the communicating between State Theatre and myself, the band. The money that came, and I'm the one who's now the accountant and paying people, need to make sure that my company is compliant and the papers are in order so that I can get this So it's like a lot of things. Like if you're an independent artist and you have to do everything yourself, there are just so many factors. But I think the main one is money and who you know. Because if you know people, even if you don't have the money, you can always trade, like with my guitarist or my bassist and I, if he needs vocals, even if he doesn't have the money, because of the relationship we have, we can always just be like, friend, please record these vocals when you need, collaboration. So I think the biggest challenge, morning, people that the connections, network,
That's where Rorisang in the front end.
Yes.
I have a question for Rorisang at the back end.
Yes.
Where is the money? And is there money?
Yay! Guys, it's a gold. I want a Kimberly hole, guys. to anyone who's listening to me, the money, it's there. The money is there, guys. One thing about one thing, our industry is a money machine.
Yeah.
It's just not easily accessible. So it's not easily accessible. And yeah, but the money is there. And for me, that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out for myself. I'm learning. You know, people always, well, when I was in school and I was doing arts administration, our lecturer would always say, like, you're a musician, but you're also a business. I think in 2023, I really understood what that means. We are entrepreneurs. We create. We see that there is a problem, there is a gap, and we're like, how can we bridge? So the money is there. And the money is not going to run out. It's overflowing, guys. Yeah. It's a fountain.
Yeah.
But we need to find it. And when we find it, we need to find ways to maintain it.
Yeah. Hold on to it.
Not hold on. Maintain. Because when you're holding on to something, you're not even using it. The money needs to work for us.
Yeah.
So I think it is there. But we also need to work together. I think with our industry, I don't know why we've developed this competition thing, gatekeeping thing. I was talking to someone today, actually, and they were asking me about the different genres and competition between Amapiano. And in my head, I actually said it out loud. I was like, with the creative space, we need to let go of competition and embrace collaboration because that's where the money's at, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like a car, like wheel there. What? Everything works together to bring that money. The money is there. We need to work together.
For the money.
For the money.
Yeah.
And be honest with one another and share it equally and allow it to work for us. Not hold on to, don't hold on to it. Let it work for you. The money is there.
Yeah.
Full stop. I hope I've answered your question.
You have. The money is there.
The money is there.
You just mentioned now that you were involved in the State Theatre choir and, you know?
Yes.
And that was able to open another opportunity for you.
Yes.
To now have a solo show at the State Theatre. Shout outs to the State Theatre for that. You've also been involved in other things, man. You've been part of the Stand-Back Youth Jazz Band.
Yes, National
so, you know,
Youth Jazz Band.
This kind of opportunities present themselves. But my curiosity has always been for a person like Rorisang, who was in the jazz band in 2020 now?
2021. Well, yeah, 20...
It was 2021, but
2021. It was 2021.
Right?
It wasn't
2021.
Yeah, it was 2021.
Yeah. So you were part of this. To what extent is... To Rorisang's story does this kind of things contribute?
Yeah.
You know, other artists in other spaces, I was in the band. I'm increasing my booking fee now. You know? So I'm just curious, in that setting, to what extent does that help?
Okay, for me, it goes back to firstly, recognition.
Sure.
I think.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Recognition, sorry. I think people are like, damn, they recognize you and like, okay, wow.
And you guys had who? Nduduzo, right?
We had Dr.
Nduduzo Makati.
Thank you. Yes, and working with him was the most amazing experience. He really embodies what mentorship should look like.
Yeah.
And then going back to your question, for me, it goes back to the school thing where it opened me up in the sense that I really got an understanding of how things work and what the industry has to offer and also what I can do for myself to prepare myself for whatever opportunity may come, you know. So beyond me just increasing my rates, it was more of watering the little seed, and you slowly see the leafling or the bud or whatever.
Yeah.
That was what it was for me, because it's like, okay, when I'm approached by a particular person, this is how I would have to carry myself. This is how I would have to speak. If I see that this is not looking right, it's looking dodge, this is how I can address the matter. You know what I mean? So for me, it's more of carrying yourself. How do you enter certain spaces? How do you speak in certain spaces? Because man, it's more of that. For me, like, these things are more internal than just being there and being like, I was part of Standard Bank.
Sure,
And,
yeah.
I worked with Mang Mang.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how do we apply all of these things and make it work for myself as a solo artist? Or if I'm going to mentor someone, what can I share? Or what can I give them so that they know, even if I don't make it into the Standard Bank National Youth Jazz Band, this is how I can still present myself as an artist and carry myself as an artist. Yeah, I hope I answered your
Oh,
question.
no, you did.
Okay.
I love that space, though. Personally, I love that space because I did some work in the previous year in that space, and just you can see the journey of those kids live.
Yeah.
You're seeing the small kids who are most probably still in primary school are coming
Yeah.
for the school bands.
Yeah.
The same kids are the same kids who are a couple of years later in the youth band. We've had previous kids who were in that program now being the artist of the year.
Of the year.
Yeah,
That's
so,
like the most
it's,
beautiful thing.
And also at the same time, you are there as a kid, but you engage in Libo Bokani, Libo
Yes.
Linda, who are there to come
Yes.
mentor. So
Yes.
it's a really beautiful setup. But anyways, this is a jazz format. I think I had to remind myself at some point, what is this thing called? Jazz Colloquies. This is a jazz format.
Yeah.
So I wanted to speak a bit about genres, right? Because I don't think you're a jazz artist. I brought you on knowing very well that it's a jazz format, but I don't think Rorisang is a jazz artist. I think Rorisang is a vocalist, yes.
Yes.
Jazz vocalist, I don't know. She does jazz, yes.
I do jazz.
But she's not a jazz vocalist. So maybe let's speak a bit about genres. Firstly, genre as a boundary. I spoke with Offensa. Offensa said the same thing. He doesn't want to box himself.
Yeah.
But also just your ability as an artist beyond, being termed a jazz artist. Yeah.
I don't want to say it's like a box, because it really does help certain people identify.
Well, yes.
Oh,
no, definitely.
Yeah, I think it just helps with identifying certain sounds.
And you are not a jazz artist.
I'm influenced by jazz, but I wouldn't consider myself completely a jazz artist or a jazz vocalist. I consider myself a colorful vocalist, in the sense that there obviously is a bass, and the bass color would be the main influence, which could be the jazz, but obviously there are different shades. And when one shade goes with another shade, then it produces a different color.
Yeah.
So if I come and you're like, Rori, I need this particular sound, then I'm able to shapeshift or fit the particular color. You know how when I was in high school, my I think she was our history teacher. She told us how back in medieval days, certain chords had colors, So maybe like a minor chord would be like a very dark blue, navy blue color, and major would be yellow, you know what I mean? So when I talk about color and sound, it's also to kind of give you a sense that I'm a colorful vocalist, in the sense that if you need me to do this, we can be this color. I can bring this color. But obviously there is a base that I always go back to, yeah, so that's my view on genres. That's my view on myself. I believe I'm a very versatile person, versatile vocalist, especially. And I love exploring. I have a lot of influences. My mom, gospel, contemporary, worship, classical. I have a bit of classical theater, musical theater. There's jazz, you know. I think the only genre I haven't really tapped into is like reggae and your rock.
And everyone uses rock as an example.
So, but because I have so many influences, jazz is the base because I really went deeper into it. Yeah. So it would be the base. But there are other colors, other shades. You have your burgundy, but there's also this plum on the right, and there's that mustard. You know what I mean?
Those are all not real colors. We have purple and yellow and green and blue.
To all the guys. Speaking for the guys. Ladies.
No turquoise. What is turquoise?
We know. Sea green. You know what I mean? Ghana was short shoes.
Oh, no.
Listen.
That is horrible. But anyways, lastly, on a lighter note,
yes.
The immediate future, I know you have really big plans for not just the coming year, but...
Sorry. With the genre. The genre thing has been difficult for me as well because in finding, which I still feel I'm doing, finding my sound, it's always been so difficult for me to, kind of say that I'm a jazz vocalist or... Sure. I'm an R&B and soul, So, yeah, the genre. Yeah. Create your own genre, guys.
A turquoise genre.
You know what I mean? Let's do that.
So I would say in not only in this year, but I guess in the immediate future, you have really good plans. Some I might know of. Some I was not told I had from a little birdie. But... yeah, maybe just speak us through some that you are willing to share the immediate future, the music you plan on releasing, what else you might be looking to get involved in beyond the school that we know you've gotten back into.
Yeah. Oh man. Ish. I got plans for 2024, man. They just need to happen. I've got a few things in the bag that I don't think I'm ready to share.
I thought as much.
Because they're still proper in the pipeline, like as soon as something is on paper and get a confirmation, then I'll be like, hey, Areh, this could possibly happen. But it's still in conception. It still needs some, incubating and whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still putting things together, and I don't want to announce things prematurely, before their time. At least I must know Uguti if I'm like 6 months pregnant. It's showing and ultrasound. Yeah. I know the gender of the baby.
Yeah.
But for now, it's just a fetus, and I need to protect that baby.
Yeah. And but we're getting music, no?
I would. Listen, Areh, you are trying me, sir. I would love to.
Okay. That's a good answer.
I would love to. I would love to this year. And I would like to also say that I'm putting things in place. But, obviously.
So we are getting music. Thank you.
What then? You bore me.
Thank you, Rori.
But I would love to share my music on all streaming platforms with you guys. But I'll stop there because if I say that, then I'm going to.
You're going to say, yes,
give you more.
But we are getting music on the 24th of April. But anyways.
Yes. I don't want to be that girl.
I think, firstly, we've delayed this for 7 years. However long we've delayed this. But thank you for showing up and allowing us to have this chat, even though there's a lot more we didn't touch on, which we probably did touch on elsewhere on other
We can touch on it now.
on other conversations and in other
Yes.
formats. But I think more than anything else, and I think I told the guys the same thing. Well, I've only talked to the guys so far, right? Oh, I had Francesca as well. But everyone who's been on this format, one thing I've been telling everyone is when coming up with the list, I was very intentional. And I also, one of the intentions I had was to not speak with people who I do not believe in.
Hectic.
So I'm not going to speak to you if I don't believe.
The pressure.
Exactly.
It's getting wiser.
So I am excited by your every move.
Thank you.
I'm excited by your talent and what it could do for you and where it could take you.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Thank you so much
Thank you.
for having me on this platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.